Every man thinks cheating starts with a message, a touch, a lie. It doesn't. It starts when she stops smiling at you the same way, when she hugs you, but her body stays stiff, when she says she's tired, but her energy feels alive somewhere else. By the time you catch her texting another man, the betrayal isn't new. It's just visible. Emotional cheating begins long before the physical act ever does. And if you've been feeling that quiet shift in her tone, her attention, her warmth, you're not crazy. You're catching the early signs most men ignore. So listen closely, because in this video, I'll break down the 7 signs she's already emotionally gone. Before she cheats on you, let's make a promise right now. No more doubting your instincts. No more explaining away what feels off. If you're ready to protect your peace before it's too late, hit subscribe, like, and comment. I choose clarity. This channel is about helping men stop chasing confusion and start recognizing the truth for what it is. And that clarity starts here with the first emotional shift that reveals when she's already halfway gone. Number 1, the emotional shift. When a woman's energy changes, her heart already has. It doesn't happen overnight and it's never random. One day she still laughs at your jokes. The next she barely looks up from her phone. You can feel her warmth shrinking piece by piece. And you keep asking yourself what you did wrong. But here's the truth. It's not about what you did, it's about where her emotions have gone. Women don't lose interest in silence. They redirect it. When her tone flattens, when her touch becomes mechanical, it's not fatigue, it's emotional reallocation. Her dopamine, that small spark that used to light up when she saw you, has found a new source. Maybe it's someone she texts at midnight. Maybe it's the fantasy of freedom she's been replaying in her mind. Either way, her heart is investing elsewhere while you're still showing up to a relationship that's already half empty. Notice the small things, the way she no longer asks how your day went, the way her laughter sounds rehearsed, the way her eyes seem to be staring through you instead of at you. Those aren't coincidences, they're data points. Every human connection leaves a trace in our body language. And when she's connecting emotionally with someone else, you can read it even if you don't want to. The most dangerous part? She'll tell you she's just tired, stressed, overwhelmed. You'll believe her because you want to. You'll explain away the distance, make excuses for the silence, convince yourself it's just a phase. But love doesn't fade quietly. It retreats in patterns. Her conversations shortened, her patience thins, her presence becomes polite. And that's where emotional cheating begins. Not with a kiss, but with a shift in energy. When her attention starts orbiting around another emotional sun, you stop being her center of gravity. So when you feel something off, that quiet void where her warmth used to live, don't ignore it. Don't rationalize it. That's your intuition waving a red flag. It's not paranoia, it's preservation. When she stops sharing her thoughts, it's not silence, it's emotional migration. And if you keep pretending not to notice, you're not saving the relationship. You're only delaying the truth that's already unfolding in her heart. Number 2, the space excuse. When she says, I just need space, what she's really saying is, I'm trying to see if I still need you. It sounds calm, mature, even reasonable. You might tell yourself at least she's communicating. But that phrase, those 4 words, are one of the most common emotional exit strategies in modern relationships. It's not about healing, it's about rehearsing life without you. Women don't withdraw for no reason. They withdraw to test emotional detachment. When she asks for space, she's not trying to rebuild love, she's trying to rebuild identity. Without your influence, that's why this period always feels different. You're still around, but she's mentally somewhere else. Every unanswered text, every delayed reply, every new routine she starts. It's a quiet experiment. Can I live without him? The psychology behind it is simple but painful. Dopamine seeks novelty. Emotional bonds fade when not reinforced. When she steps back, she's not recharging. She's rewiring. She's detaching the chemical connection that used to link her feelings to you and redirecting that emotional energy into freedom or into someone who makes her feel something new. And here's the trap most men fall into. You give her exactly what she asks for, space, thinking it'll prove your trust. But to her, that space becomes freedom. Freedom to flirt, freedom to test the waters, freedom to see if she misses you, and if not. That's her silent confirmation that it's over. She'll disguise it under noble words, I just need time to find myself. But to ask yourself this, why does she only need to find herself when she's no longer happy with you? Because what she's really searching for isn't self. It's escape. Remember this truth. Space doesn't rebuild love. It rehearses the breakup. If a woman is truly invested, she doesn't crave distance. She craves connection. She wants reassurance, presence, closeness. The moment she starts craving space, she's already halfway out the door, waiting to see if you'll notice. Or worse, if you'll let her go quietly. So don't chase, don't beg. Watch how she uses that distance, because how she behaves in her space tells you everything about where her heart already is. Number 3, the illusion of honesty. When she starts telling you everything, it's not always because she's being honest. Sometimes it's because she's building a shield. You'll notice it slowly. She begins narrating her day with unnatural precision: where she went, who she met, what she ate. She says things like, "Oh, I ran into my ex today, but it was nothing." Or, "There's this new guy at work who's funny. But don't worry, he's not my type." She wants you to believe she's transparent. What she's really doing is curating your perception. Women know one thing very well: suspicion dies when a man feels informed. That's why she gives you just enough information to keep you calm. She's not lying outright, she's managing the narrative. It's called selective honesty. The harmless details become smoke screens that hide what actually matters. Psychologically, this is about control. By feeding you small, digestible truths, she's lowering your guard. Every "don't worry, it's nothing" becomes a microdose of reassurance that trains you to stop asking deeper questions. And that's how deception thrives, not through lies, but through believable half-truths. You'll start to notice something strange. Her stories sound too smooth. There's no hesitation, no rough edges. It feels rehearsed. And when you question her, she doesn't react with confusion. She reacts with irritation. That's your first sign that you've touched something real. But here's the dark irony. This version of honesty isn't about truth. It's about optics. She's performing openness to protect the parts she doesn't want you to see. Because if she can convince you she's being transparent, she never has to face your suspicion. Let me make it clear, real honesty doesn't perform itself. If she's proving she's honest, she's already lying. That's what I call the illusion of honesty. It's a manipulation tactic built on emotional theater. Watch her patterns. The more she talks, the less she connects. The more she explains, the colder her energy feels. That's because her words are covering for the emotional distance she's already created. And when her stories become perfectly packaged, when her openness starts feeling scripted, understand this: it's not vulnerability you're witnessing, it's damage control. Number 4, the projection game. When she starts accusing you out of nowhere, it's not because you've done something wrong, it's because she has. Projection is one of the oldest defense mechanisms in human psychology. When someone feels guilt they can't carry, they throw it at someone else to lighten the load. And in relationships, women often do this without even realizing it. It starts subtly. A question here, a comment there. "Who's texting you? You've been distant lately. Are you talking to someone else?" At first, you'll laugh it off, thinking she's just being emotional. But then the pattern grows. The same woman who used to trust you now needs proof of everything. She watches your tone, your schedule, your phone, not because she's insecure, but because she recognizes those behaviors. They're her own. When guilt builds up, the mind looks for balance. Accusation becomes relief. If she can paint you as the unfaithful one, she doesn't have to face her own betrayal. It's emotional sleight of hand, a diversion act designed to keep her conscience quiet. Here's the trap. You'll start defending yourself. You'll explain. You'll overprove your innocence, scrolling through your phone, showing messages, trying to calm her down. But every time you do, you hand her more control. You become the one on trial while she walks free. Remember this: when you start defending yourself for no reason, you've already lost the frame. A woman who's guilty doesn't need evidence to accuse you. She just needs tension to justify her actions. And the more you prove, the more she hides. Watch the sequence. The arguments become random. She picks fights over nothing. A late reply. An Instagram like a missed call. These small explosions aren't about you. They're rehearsals. Each fight helps her rewrite the story of why she's pulling away. So when the truth finally surfaces, she can say, "We were already falling apart." And that's how projection works. It turns guilt into a weapon and blinds you with the smoke of false accusations. Here's the truth you need to hold on to. Healthy love doesn't accuse without cause. A woman who's emotionally loyal doesn't question loyalty that hasn't been broken. So when she suddenly becomes suspicious without reason, don't defend yourself. Observe, because accusations without evidence are often confessions in disguise. Number 5, her friends know first. Energy never lies, not even to her friends. Before you ever notice the distance, her inner circle already feels it. Women are emotionally transparent with each other in ways men rarely are. They share secrets and fragments. A complaint here, a confession there, and "I don't know what I feel anymore." Even if she doesn't say the full story, her friends can read between the lines. And once they know, you'll feel it. At first, it's subtle. The jokes stop, the smiles feel forced. The friends who used to tease you suddenly go quiet when you walk in. They avoid eye contact, change the topic, act as if you're invisible. Online, they stop tagging you in photos or stories. They don't comment the way they used to. You'll feel the energy shift. Colder, distant, almost polite. That's not coincidence. That's borrowed guilt. When a woman starts drifting away emotionally, she needs allies to validate her choices. She'll confide in her closest friends, not to ask for advice, but to justify the emotional betrayal she's already begun. She'll say things like, "I just don't feel the same anymore," or "He's changed." And even if her friends disagree, they'll protect her. Female loyalty doesn't follow logic, it follows emotion. That's why you'll never hear the truth from them. Even if they think what she's doing is wrong, they'll still cover for her. They'll say she just needs time, that she's confused, that she's focusing on herself. But behind those words is silence. And silence is complicity. Here's the thing most men don't realize. When her friends start acting different, it's not random timing. It's social alignment. They've chosen sides before you even knew there was a battle. You might think you're imagining it, that they're just busy or distracted. But energy doesn't lie. You can feel the unease, the tension, the missing warmth. That's not your paranoia, that's your subconscious picking up the truth they can't hide. Her silence isn't random, it's borrowed guilt. So pay attention to her circle. Women rarely cheat in complete isolation. There's always someone who knows, someone who helps her rationalize it, someone who plays the friend while watching you drown in confusion. When their tone changes, when their warmth disappears, don't ignore it. That shift in energy is your early warning system, because by the time her friends act strange, she's already emotionally gone. Number 6, the reinvention trap. A sudden glow up isn't always about self-love. Sometimes it's about preparing for a new audience. When a woman starts emotionally detaching, she doesn't always leave right away. She reinvents, the hair changes, the wardrobe shifts, the perfume is new, the gym routine becomes non-negotiable, and her reflection suddenly matters again in ways it didn't for months. You'll think it's innocent. She's just taking care of herself. You'll even feel proud at first. But here's the truth. Women rarely rebuild their image for no reason. Every transformation has a target. If she's still emotionally invested in you, her growth feels shared. She'll ask for your opinion, your validation, your reaction. Do you like this outfit? Should I try this new look? But when she's detached, the energy changes. Her evolution becomes secretive, almost defensive. When you ask why the sudden change, she'll reply with something that sounds empowered but feels cold. I'm doing it for me. That line for me is often code for not for you anymore. Psychologically, reinvention after emotional withdrawal is a form of identity detachment. She's shedding the version of herself that existed in your relationship and constructing a new one that aligns with the next phase. The one that might not include you. The wardrobe, the scent, the tone of voice, all subtle signals of new availability. And the most dangerous part, it looks healthy. From the outside, it's self-improvement. Inside, it's emotional preparation. She's not healing the relationship, she's preparing for her next connection. The glow up is the camouflage. The breakup is already in progress. She just hasn't told you yet. You'll notice the difference in intent. Before, her beauty was shared. Now it's private. Before, she wanted you to notice. Now she doesn't care if you do. That shift isn't self-confidence, it's emotional distancing disguised as empowerment. When she stops dressing for you, she's already performing for someone else. Don't confuse independence with detachment. Growth is beautiful when it's mutual, but when she grows in silence, that silence is saying something. Women understand the power of transformation. It's how they signal endings without words. So pay attention. When her evolution excludes you, it's not a phase. It's a rebrand. And rebrands don't happen without a reason. 7. The male intuition. Your gut knows long before your mind admits it. That uneasy feeling in your chest, the tension that sits behind your ribs when something feels off, the urge to check her phone to reread that message, to replay that moment when her tone changed. You try to shake it off, telling yourself you're overthinking. But you're not. What you're feeling isn't paranoia. It's paranoia. It's pattern recognition. Men are taught to silence their intuition, to rationalize everything, to stay logical even when their body is screaming that something's wrong. Society calls it insecurity. But it isn't. It's awareness. It's your subconscious connecting dots. Your conscious mind is too afraid to confront. When a woman's energy shifts, your body picks it up first. Her voice carries a new rhythm. Her presence feels heavy instead of warm. The way she hugs you changes. Shorter, lighter, colder. You can sense the emotional absence before she ever says the words. And the truth is, you've probably felt this before. You just didn't trust it enough to act. Your body feels the lie before your brain decodes it. That's biology, not emotion. It's how human connection evolved. Through energy, not language. When someone you love starts lying, your nervous system registers it like static in a signal. That's why peace disappears. That's why your sleep breaks. That's why you start questioning everything. Don't let anyone tell you that you're crazy for noticing. Real love brings calm, not confusion. If her presence feels heavy, if you're always second-guessing, that's your intuition trying to save you from emotional blindness. But here's the powerful part. Your gut isn't just a warning. It's a compass. It tells you when to stop chasing, when to pull back, when to protect your peace. It's the most primal form of intelligence you have. The more you ignore it, the deeper you sink into her illusion. So listen, not to her words, but to her energy. Because when something feels off, it usually is. And remember, being intuitive doesn't make you weak. It makes you grounded. It's how you protect yourself from giving your loyalty to someone who's already gone. Trust your gut. It's not insecurity. It's your spirit recognizing a truth your heart isn't ready to accept. When a woman leaves, it's never sudden. Her body stays out of habit, but her heart leaves in pieces. That's why most men don't notice until it's too late. They're waiting for a dramatic exit, not realizing the exit began the moment her energy changed. She detached quietly, little by little, while you were still trying to fix what you didn't even know was broken. Emotional disconnection is never random, it's strategic, even when it's unconscious. She stops sharing. She stops caring. She builds distance disguised as self-care, honesty, or space. And while you're fighting for proof, she's already rewriting the story. But this isn't about her anymore. It's about you. About the part of you that keeps second-guessing your instincts just to protect the illusion of love. You can't keep negotiating with your own intuition just because you're afraid of what it might confirm. So let this be your turning point. If any of these signs hit close to home, stop searching for evidence. Start reinforcing your boundaries. Stop chasing the version of her that existed when she was still emotionally invested. That version doesn't live here anymore. A woman who truly loves you will fight for you, not hide from you. She won't need space to remember your worth. She won't have to over-explain her honesty or accuse you to feel clean. She'll stand beside you because she wants to, not because she hasn't found a reason to leave yet. Your job now isn't to chase her, it's to protect your peace, to rebuild the part of you that gave too much to someone who had already checked out. If you found truth in this, like the video, share your story in the comments. Not for validation, but because your clarity might save another man from the same silence. And if you want more no-nonsense breakdowns like this, subscribe. Learn to decode female psychology without losing your emotional power. Because remember, she may have left you emotionally, but that doesn't mean you lose yourself. The power was never hers to take.